Flosstube, good morning. Pam here, stitching between the lines. Today is Friday, February 16th. It's kind of overcast. It's not really overcast. You see out the window? Sea fog. The sea fog hasn't burned off yet. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day though. It's cool enough that the windows can be open. Spring comes fast and short here in Florida. I got here in January when it's still kind of winter, like Florida winter. It rains a lot, it's cold. I quit coming in January a few years ago because of that. You know, by February usually you can enjoy some nicer weather. This year the cold damp dragged on into February, and maybe just last week it finally started to be nice. So anyway, and I caught a cold. I was here maybe 2 days and I got a cold. So for like a week, I didn't feel like doing anything, coughed all the time. And I have a pen. I have to make sure a pen doesn't touch my sewing. And I didn't even really have a lot of energy for sewing. So that wasn't really a lot of fun, but whatever. It happens. So anyway, here I am in Florida without a whole lot to say. I have good internet. So I thought, well, we'll make at least one video because, you know, and I did make progress, like knock me dead progress on my winter sampler. But first, let's talk about some other things. I have a list. It's not very long. I need to say to Annette of Annette's Acre, thank you very, very much. I won her giveaway for the 12 Brooks Books bride's tree ornaments, and she mailed them to my house while I was here. So I don't see them and they're not fresh on my mind, so I apologize for not letting you know that they arrived way sooner than this, because they've been at my house you mailed them, they arrived at an appropriate time. I appreciate it. Looking forward to those. I'd like to dream that my daughters get married someday and I make the ornaments for them. But in the meantime, I'll enjoy them. And then what else? What else is on my list? Here in Florida, I have a friend she's a friend up north, and then she's wintering in Florida, started coming down a couple years ago, and we always get together and stitch and shop and eat out and enjoy ourselves. We're about an hour apart. So anyway, even though we're in the same county, it's Florida traffic time. She reached out through a Facebook page, checking like what area events were going on for cross stitchers, and she reached out to a woman and said, is there anything in the area where she is? And the woman she reached out to said, no, but let me set something up. So she set up a stitching day at a library using one of their conference rooms for the day. And she knew some people to invite, and my friend knows me and another woman who winters down here from the area where she's from up north. So we all went there and had a very enjoyable day and stitched. And the woman who my friend reached out to, turns out, was Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch. Who knew? I had never seen her channel. I don't think she'd ever seen mine. You'll tell me, Andrea, if I'm wrong. And it turns out she's actually from the same town where I am. I don't usually say that. She doesn't usually say it. So, you know, we like a little bit of privacy. And that was just ironic. We were just like, other than going to the cross stitch Midwest retreat, have not. I don't know. I might have to think about that. I don't think I've met any floss tubers. No, not out in the world. Just, you know, like at the retreat. So that was fun, and it led to me being recognized again. One of the women who came watches my channel, so that's kind of fun. They feel like they know me. I'm happy to get to know them. So it's kind of neat. Definitely neat. It's neat to have a little community of people who do the same hobby, especially when it's such a quiet at-home hobby. So anyway, enough about that. We all talk about that. So I'm sure you probably know Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch. She's been making videos for 2+ years. So anyway, so another thing that I got to do with my friend, there's a LNS in this general, it's almost like exactly between my house and her house. And that shop owner organizes an event every few months, I think, at a community center. So we went to that to stitch for the day. And we, the designer from Glendon Place was there with a trunk show. So that was fun to see some of those. I went with like white knuckling it. I can't buy everything I see. First of all, her patterns, beautiful. Use a lot of thread and beads. There was one I liked that was a Christmas tree, and I had looked at it online beforehand, and I can't even remember how much Kreinik it took. And I was like, fear, beads and beads and beads. So I did choose a pattern, just one, because self-restraint, self-control. And some of the things she had the bead kit for, bead thread, I don't know. She didn't for this one, so I was disappointed because it's no fun to have to track down the beads. But anyway, it is this. Oh, glare alert. Okay, phew, Glendon Place. What's it called? Ornaments all around. And I really like those old-fashioned vintage Christmas ornaments. I really thought that would be fun, but look at this. Look at the list. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I think this will be one of those things that I just slowly kit up and then drool over the beads and specialty things for a while. I don't know. We'll see. And then she was giving this one away if you purchased a pattern. This is cute. I kept it, or I took it, even though I wasn't convinced. She was selling this fabric, this yellow, pretty yellow fabric with the chicks on it. I didn't buy the fabric because I don't really know. I don't know. This could be fun little pin cushion or something, stitching with my chicks, something. Yeah, I don't know. And then while I was there, the shop sets up just a little tiny bit of stuff. They don't bring their whole store with them. But I was delighted to get this piece of gingham tin roof. I bought, if anybody cares to remember, I bought 3 other colors of gingham when I was in Las Vegas. It's Stitcher's Paradise, right? That's the name of it. They didn't have this color, which is kind of a greeny, showing up kind of gray. Let's see, let's look for the right light. But I really like the gingham. I'm a little, like, I see people that have stitched things on fabric like this, and it looks fabulous. I'm a little not so adventuresome, but I have it, and I would like to use it. Put it all back properly. So hopefully I'll find a little something that goes on there, or a big something. And I just got another piece. It's a cashel colored dwarf. Blue, love to stitch on blue, like even weave. Don't know who made this. We should probably really look at it because it's such a pretty blue. If we can get the lighting right. There we go. It's lighter than that. That looks more denim blue. It's more like pretty sky blue, but it's pretty. Kind of colors I like. Then I went to my local library. I always visit the library. When I'm here, just stock up on books because I get a lot of reading time. And the library has a little book sale section inside the front door. Books and videos, you know, that kind of stuff that people donate. And it makes a lot of money for the library. So I always poke through and actually found 2 books. We aren't even talk books, but 2 books that are on my wish list. So I got those. And then in the library, I checked out 2 more books that were on my wish list of things to read. So it's been very productive in the reading. But they had some cross-stitch magazines and this book of patterns, which is fabulous, right? Lee Ward's. Remember Lee Ward's? One of the first things I ever got framed, I got framed at Lee Ward's. But it was 10 cents at the library. So I snatched it up because in here, there are all 12 of these. Whoever had it before wrote what month it was on each picture. There's some more of them. Can we see? Can we see? I have to look over it to show you it. So, and here's the other one. Oh, there it is. Some of them are just adorable, and some of them are very of the era, color-wise. I looked, I forgot what year this came out, like 1980 something. 1982. Been around a while. I've been stitching since before 1982, so there you go. Let me check my list. Okay, I showed you the new stuff that I met Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch, right? That's her Flosstube channel name. And I apologize to Annette for not thanking her in advance, or more timely, for the Brooks Books Bride's Tree Ornaments. And Annette, I have to tell you, years ago, I'm not even sure I blogged yet. I can't even remember how long I blogged, except my daughter, who's going to be 27 soon, was still in high school. So let's just go 10 years. So at some point, I'm thinking before that, you did an exchange. It was Christmas ornaments. And I participated, and I am pretty sure my ornament went to you. Probably because I was the unknown entity in the group. You thought if somebody was going to be the weakest link, let it be you that didn't get an ornament versus somebody else. And it was kind of funny because the person who sent me an ornament lived in my general area, probably an hour away. That was kind of funny. But anyway, I don't even remember what I stitched. What I remember is it was out of an ornament issue. And I made one, and I didn't like how the finish came out, so I made a second. So what sticks in my mind is the first one. I still have it, still hanging on my tree, but I don't remember what I sent. So if you didn't have it, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'd be none the wiser. So anyway, I'm going to show you my stitching, and then I have one more thing to tell you that maybe you'll want to stick around for. Maybe not. The craze might be over. I don't know. Here's my winter sampler. I have been saving this to work on here in Florida. I always bring something that needs intensive time because I have intensive time. I can leave the stuff out. It's funny, my cats. I've always had cats. Never am I without cats. I leave stuff out. I leave all my threads out, and they're dangling over the arm of the couch and stuff. And I keep thinking, like every now and then I stop myself and think, you can't leave that there. But yeah, I can leave everything everywhere. So anyway, when I got here, I had, last summer when I was here, I stitched the girl in the heart, the skate with the flowers, and like I had done up over here. And I think at home a little bit, I had stitched a little bit here and there of the tree and whatnot. This is the first thing I ever stitched on it, and then it kind of got put away because 200 projects, right? So when I got here, and I posted this on Instagram, which if you're not my friend, you have to ask me. Crazy. The whole thing's crazy. So here I stitched the bulk of the inside of this, and the other tree outlined it, yada, 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 yada. You'll see, because I've had some time to stitch. I got a needle still hanging out of it. So here it is. Mostly I outline as I go. Once I finish a section, I outline it. Over here, I dropped the ball on the outlining, not totally dropped it, but I hadn't done anything down here, so I couldn't finish outlining up here kind of thing. And after you've outlined for several days to do all these things, I'm telling you, these mice kicked my butt. I don't know, this one I took out 3 times. Finally, I just thought, outline it and be done. So I've been working on the night village scene that runs across here. This one's done, it's not outlined. I work by section usually, so if I had one color, I went here, and then over to here, and then back again. I had to stop and frame this in so that I knew I had all my placement right. And then, of course, some of the same colors appear on the skier, so I've been going in there and doing her, and then I had outlined the postcard with the snowman, and he's probably what I worked on the most in the skater, like the last couple days. I'm going with Andrea knew of another stitching opportunity tomorrow, Saturday, another library group. So that we're going to go sit in on that tomorrow, and I needed to have like things you didn't need to concentrate on. Like there is a lot of white in this skier section, so I want to get everything done, but the background, and then I can work on that sort of blindly. So it is, without a doubt, more than halfway done. Right across the top of the night village scene is the patterns halfway point. You know, when the page changes. But there is much less stitching in the bottom half of this. I mean, this is all empty except for the outlining. So that's a whole huge section that is not solidly stitched. This is pretty solid, but each little motif is smaller than, say, a whole section up here, or a whole, I don't know, to me it appears like in my delusional mind that it's going to go quicker, which is good, because once I get home, you know, there's a lot for me to do. Kids will be home. My son's coming home for a few days. My daughter's coming down here in a couple days, which will take away all my, not that I mind, I'm not saying that. We'll, you know, we'll go do things, go to the beach, whatever. So I won't be stitching nearly as much. And then once I'm home, my daughter comes home for spring break. My son will be there for a few days. Real life starts up again. So fun's over. Party's over. Stitching party's over. And then, okay, so my last thing that I only just saw this morning and thought I would share, so don't go crazy, because, you know, this is going to happen. It's going to be sold out. I am a quilter, as you know. So I get regular emails from some different quilt shops, online, whatever, you know, the usual, just like we do with cross-stitch things. And this morning I got the usual Friday update from a store called Shabby Fabrics. Let me see. Shabby Fabrics. Just like that sounds. Shabbyfabrics.com. People struggle with that and they want to call it Shabby Fabbies. It's fabrics. Shabbyfabrics.com. Said in their newsletter this morning, you see that word? That they have Thread Heaven. That they have Thread Heaven in stock. I believe I bought some Thread Heaven from them back when it was like sold out everywhere. So they still say they have it. They're still listing it. So if the craze is still on to get your lifetime supply of Thread Heaven, Shabby Fabrics advertised this morning that they had some. So they, as far as quilt stores and quilting using it, they would be promoting it to use for applique, and Shabby Fabrics has a lot, well, very popular now is a lot of applique with a lot of specialty threads. So that's why they're promoting it. I'm not sure if non-stitchers who do applique have sort of latched onto it in the same way, otherwise it'd be sold out. So anyway, go if you want some Thread Heaven to shabbyfabrics.com and you can get some until it's sold out. So anyway, Friday morning, I have a few things to take care of this morning, and then I get to stitch. I'm also brought the quilt project from that I'm trying to make my way through. What a nightmare. I don't even want to talk about it. On the designer, the mistakes are just flabbergasting. On our website, this pattern's not available anymore, and it's been out for just like 7 years. So I've had the kit that long, and I thought I just need to sit down and work on it. So anyway, I'm making my way through it. I'm not gonna be able to assemble it all here. I'll do that back at home, but the true test will be how well it assembles. I don't know. So anyway, have a good weekend, and hopefully you're doing something fun, stitching, whatever. We'll see ya. Bye.